we're still using the causal vocabulary. So we'll use it and say, yes, there's an influence of that object. You know, the tree causes me to say tree. But we're entitled to, from this point of view, because it's metaphysically private.
Melissa?
Yes, it might just be a point of clarification, or it might pick up on some of the things that you've just been saying. But I have a problem with seeing what seems to be an assimilation between the perceptual world and what you're calling a sparse scientific world, because it seems to me that in your kind of opening contrast between a sparse scientific world and the rich manifest world, that the reason why the scientific world is sparse is because it's not perceptual, but rather on modelling. Am I completely off track? In what sense is the perceptual world a scientific world?
I don't think I wanted to suggest at any point that the perceptual world was a scientific world. I mean, I don't think I meant to suggest that any of those pictures I was giving you were as it were, pictures of the way the world appears to us in perception.
Right. I thought towards the end the perceptual world was the one that's where causal relations.
Oh yes. Sorry. Now I think I see the point of the question. No, I mean it seemed to me that one interesting thing that we're likely to want to say from this general expressivist standpoint about the role of perceptual judgments as opposed to judgments in general is that where perceptual judgments occur in a general functional economy is at a point which is particularly closely related, causally speaking, to certain kinds of states of affairs in the external environment.
But that doesn't map onto the scientific, non-scientific vocabulary.
Well, I mean, I think in the end the answer is going to be no, because the scientific vocabulary is going to be much richer than as it were, the immediate perceptual vocabulary. And because it's going to have the causal stuff in it as well, which isn't given by the immediate perceptual stuff, it's given by the fact that we intervene as agents. So in the end, the story is going to be no. But even if the story were yes, it still wouldn't amount to. I mean, it would still be kind of compatible with the general kind of expressivist framework that we were offering, I think.
Yeah, this wonderful thing that the only real stuff from a naturalist point of view are the blue things, and the yellow, green, and red things will only occur within blue thought bubbles. And you're going to tell a naturalistic story which will have only the blue things.
No, I'm going to tell a story. Right, let me go see if I can go back to some of the pictures.
I'm thinking pictures too.
Let's try the quasi-realist world. Okay, that one will do.
So that the red, green and yellow things aren't, in a sense, real. They're only quasi-real, but the blue things are real.
Oh yeah, I mean this version is the quasi-realist version. They're not the same as others. But the point is that as it were, the standpoint you occupy as an expressivist is this it's a sort of scientific, naturalistic, genealogical sort of standpoint. So it's roughly the standpoint which corresponds to that picture, leave out the reference relations. And it's this sort of picture. So you stand here, and what you find in the world that you're looking at, it includes, among other things, the three vocabularies down the right-hand side. Yes. One of which is the vocabulary you're currently using, and the other two are other vocabularies.
Yes. And you're standing here, and standing here is a blue thing, because the shape of the earth and your location on it, that's part of the blue.
Yeah, well, you may describe it, you may think it's a good thing, and that won't be a good thing. But
no, you are also telling a story. Telling a story will involve, for instance, not saying colourless blue thought bubbles sleep furiously, because if you say that, red flags go up.
Exactly.
Real red flags.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where all that sort of stuff we're playing.
Yeah.
So that, as it were, what's involved in operating one of these vocabularies from the inside involves a lot of the red stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice. And the green stuff.
So red and green stuff is real, and yellow stuff is real because you can't tell the purple story without mathematical relations.
Well, actually, this yeah. I mean, there's one way. There's one way I wouldn't want to take that. I mean, this actually, I forgot about the second part of your question, Bob. The question about whether the mathematical stuff should be in the scientific world. Look, I mean, in a sense, in the end, I want to say, because the story ends up being so kind of deflationist about metaphysics, in the end the question goes away, because it's not an interesting question anymore. Up until that point, it's just a kind of embarrassment for our opponents, I think. I mean, I do have some stuff in something of mine, actually. It's kind of on the back burner, but I was trying to write something more general about the Eliatic thing, and also about the sort of role of indispensability arguments and things of that kind. But the sort of impetus of it, not surprisingly, was all towards kind of metaphysical quietism and deflationism, against the idea that you could draw any interesting kind of distinctions in those ways, or indeed that you should interpret Quine as having thought that you should.
It's a shame that it doesn't come out that only realists get the blues, but please join me in thanking Hugh for his presentation. We're going to have to move on pretty quickly, so it is permitted to stand, shake your head, turn around on the spot, but not leave your chair. We'll be starting about 9%. Sorry, I meant to say thank you for
I thought someone Bob was sort of suggesting you characterise things.
I'm with Bob on how you get a vocation. I'm with Bob on how you eat the phonemes. I mean, you know, fairly sort of minimal sort of formalistic stuff rather than the sort of stuff that linguists talk about.